Good morning, students. Welcome to your new academic year. I know most of the subjects the class started. So, we will start the first lesson in physics, that's about motion. Okay. So, in 8th standard you studied about force, and when force is applied on an object, whether the force is a balanced one or unbalanced one, changes will be there in the object. Means effects of forces are there. If a force is applied on an object which is at rest, it can move or it will move. If an object is moving, if we apply a force in the opposite direction, then that object will come to rest. We can increase the speed and decrease the speed of a moving object by the application of a force. So, all those things you studied about that. Then, in 6th standard you studied about motion and different types of motion. Rectilinear motion, circular motion, periodic motion, all those things. Okay. So, here in this chapter we will discuss what is motion, and we will discuss about linear motion, that is straight line motion. Okay, straight line motion or linear motion. Then it's a lengthy chapter. So many equations are there, so many problems are there. I know it will be difficult for you to do it, but you have to do it. I will tell you how to do it, how to solve it. So, according to that, you will do it in your notebook. Okay. So, first motion, that is the first chapter in 9th standard. Okay. Not like 8th standard, it is little bit tough. Okay. So, but we will make it simpler and we will do it. Okay. So, first, that is motion. So, you know what is motion? If I ask you, what is motion? You will tell me that, yeah, motion. If an object is moving. If an object is moving, then it is in motion. Isn't it? The same thing. But we will define it in another way. We will define it in another way. What is motion? What is rest? Okay. So, first I will define rest. Rest means, yeah, if an object is not moving, it is at rest. That is a simple definition. Okay. Or in one sentence we can say it. Okay. If an object is not moving, it is at rest. If it is moving, then it is at motion. Okay. So, we need to confirm it in a well defined language. What is motion and what is rest? Okay. So, an object is said to be at rest. An object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to a fixed point during the passage of time. An object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to a fixed point taken as a reference point in its surroundings during the passage of time. Okay, that is a definition for rest. How we will define rest? I will explain it to you. Suppose suppose a tree is here. A tree is there and a car is there. A car is parked under a tree. Okay. So, I take this reference point as this tree. I will say the car is at rest with respect to this tree. Okay. So, now I am watching. the car, whether the car is changing its position or not. Okay, from morning 9 a.m. I watched, the car is still there, it's not moving. Then again 9:30, 10, 10:30, then 11 o'clock. So 2 hours I watched this car and it's not moving. So with respect to this tree, this car is not changing its position. With respect to this tree, this car is not changing its position from 9 to 11. Okay, from 9 to 11, with respect to this tree, this car is not changing its position. Then we will say that the car is at rest. We will say that the car is at rest. Now, suppose you consider a bus stop. I am standing here. Okay, I am standing here. So, a bus came to the bus stop. A bus came to the bus stop. Then, after 2 or 3 seconds, it just start to move. Okay. So, with respect to me or with respect to this bus stop, what is the state of that bus? Whether the bus is moving or not? With respect to this bus stop, what is the state of that bus? Whether the bus is moving or not? Yeah, the bus is moving. The bus is moving. Okay, so the bus is in motion. It is at motion. So, with respect to this bus stop, this bus is in motion. Suppose you consider you are in a bus, you are in a moving bus. With respect to the driver or with respect to the seat, what is your state? If you are sitting in a moving bus, with respect to the driver or with respect to the other passengers or with respect to the seat, what is your state? You are not moving, you are at rest. So, with respect to that bus, you are at rest. But someone from outside the bus, you are moving along with the bus. You are moving along with the bus. So, you are in motion. So, if you change the reference point, then motion and rest may change. If you change the reference point, there will be a change in motion and rest. Or we can't say whether an object is at rest or motion. We can say it only if we define the reference point. If we define the reference point, then we will be able to say that whether an object is at rest or motion. Okay. Suppose you consider the classroom. Okay. So, you are sitting in your classroom. So, you are at rest. You are at rest. A person is looking from outside the earth. So, this one is earth. A person is looking you from outside the earth. For that person, you are in motion. For that person viewing you outside from the earth, for him, you are in motion. But what about you with respect to the classroom? With respect to the classroom, you are at rest. So, we can't say whether an object is at rest or motion. It may change, depends upon the reference point. Or we will say these two terms are relative. Rest and motion are relative. Okay. Rest and motion are relative. Suppose a book is lying on a table. It is at rest. It is at rest with respect to that table. With respect to that table, it is at rest. Suppose an ant is moving on the table. With respect to the table, that ant is moving. With respect to the table, that ant is moving. Okay. So, we can't specify whether an object is at rest or motion. It's relative. It may change, depends upon the reference point. Okay. Now, this is a definition for motion. If an object is said to be in motion, if it changes its position with respect to a fixed point taken as a reference point in its surrounding during the passage of time. Example, a book lying on a table, that is at rest with respect to the table. A bird flying in the sky, that is in motion. A person standing in a moving bus is at rest with respect to the bus. A person standing or sitting in a moving bus is at rest with respect to the bus, with respect to the co-passengers, or with respect to the driver. Okay, he will be at rest. If someone is from outside the bus, some reference point is taken which is outside the bus, then that person inside the bus will be in motion. A person standing in a moving bus is in motion with respect to a person on a bus stop. Rest and motion are relative. An object can be both at rest and motion at the same time. An object can be both at rest and motion at the same time. If you are sitting in a class, with respect to the classroom, you are at rest. But if a person is looking you out from outside the earth, then you are in motion. Okay. Now, physical quantity means anything that can be measured. You can measure your height, your weight. Okay. So, that can be considered as a physical quantity. Okay. Physical quantity means that can be measured. A physical quantity is a physical property of matter that can be measured. If anything can be measured, length you can measure, mass you can measure, all those things can be considered as a physical quantity. There are two types of physical quantities, scalar quantities and vector quantities. Scalar means it is having only magnitude. It is having only magnitude, means number will be there. Normally we will represent a unit in a physical quantity in two parts. One is a number part and other one is a unit part. Here I wrote it, height of a person is 165 centimeter. This 165 centimeter is a number part and this centimeter is a unit part. Okay. So, that number is known as a magnitude. If I say it, if I say 180 meter, the length of a bridge is 180 meter. This 180 is a magnitude. This one is a magnitude and this meter is a unit. Meter is a unit. 30 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, 30, that is a magnitude and degree Celsius is a unit to measure temperature. So, physical quantities which have magnitude only magnitude is there, no direction is there. That type of physical quantities are known as scalar quantities. Example, length, time, temperature, mass, okay, half kg sugar, 5 kg rice. It doesn't have any direction. Okay, then that is scalar quantities. Next, vector quantities are there. It's having both magnitude and direction. Both magnitude and direction. Suppose I say I am traveling 5 meter towards the east. 5 meter towards the east. So 5 meter. In that 5 is the magnitude. Towards the east. That is the direction. Okay. Towards the east. That is the direction. So, certain physical quantities, if we want to represent it completely, we need both magnitude and direction. So, that type of physical quantities are known as vector quantities. Example, displacement, velocity, force. What is displacement, velocity, acceleration, momentum? All these things are vector quantities, and we will study all these terms in 9th standard. So, the distance is in east direction, 45 kilometer east. So, the magnitude is 45. Kilometer is a unit and east is the direction. Okay. Now, different types of motion. I think that you have studied in 6th standard. Straight line motion or linear motion. If the object is moving in a straight line, then it is known as linear motion. Then rotatory motion. If it is rotating about its own axis, rotatory motion. Circular motion is there along the circular path. That type of motion is known as circular motion. Oscillatory motion. Example, swing. It will move to and fro or back and fro. Symbol, pendulum. All those things are oscillatory motion. Vibratory motion. When you stretch the rubber band and when you pluck it, it will move like this, up and down. Strings of the guitar, it will move up and down. That is vibratory motion. Okay. So, motion, rest, scalar quantity, vector quantity. Okay. Rest means the object is not changing its position with respect to the surrounding during the passage of time. Motion means the object is changing its position with respect to the surroundings during the passage of time. So, we can't say when an object is at rest or in motion, we can say it with the reference point. When you don't know the reference point, then only we will say whether an object is completely at rest or completely at motion. These two terms are relative to each other. Okay? Thank you.